Shalom, shalom, and welcome to my sukkah. Here today, I am sitting on Hadassah's bed. She slept here last night and had a good little time in the sukkah, looking up at the pretty lights and the greenery and stuff. So today, I'm just going to read you one more story, and then I'm all done for this year. I will do some more next year, maybe. But today, let's see. What shall we read? This time, I think I'm going to read this story. I have some other really cute books, and next year I think I will get some more Sukkot stories. And I hope you write a story. And Maggie, my daughter, is going to write a story this year that should be ready for me to read next year, but also for you to buy. I'm so excited. It's going to be an awesome Sukkot story that she's going to write. All right, but today I am going to finish out Sukkot 2019 with another story about a sukkah up on a roof. Now, I know that in all honesty, today is the day after Shemini Atzeret, and I am reading this story for Shemini, because Shemini is part of Sukkot. Even though it's its own little feast, it still is within the context of Sukkot. So I'm going to go ahead and add one more story. This will be the 8th story that I have read this week. So let us read this story. So remember, we always look at who the author is and then also who the illustrator is. And the author is the one that writes the book, and the illustrator is the one that draws all the pictures. So this is written by David Adler, and it is illustrated by Marilyn Hirsh. Yeah. There you go. Now this one is a funny one. This is a pretty wild story. Now this is a story that I think you're going to find a little bit funny. Perhaps the adults will find it more funnier, but here we go. All right, let's read this story about Sukkot. See, it looks like he's in he's in an apartment building in a kind of like a city, and so there's lots going on, and so he doesn't have a yard and that sort of thing. So let's see what his dilemma is. Okay, the mower outside, the grass is getting cut outside. One day, the old man from apartment 3D dragged a heavy wood crate up the front steps of his building. "Don't scratch the paint with that junk," the owner of the building yelled. "You can scratch the paint right off." She doesn't look very fun to be around, does she? The next day, the old man collected acorns and autumn leaves. There he is collecting the acorns, and the leaves are falling, and the acorns falling. Acorns. Decorate with acorns. That's interesting. When he brought them into the building, the owner yelled from her window, "Don't drop anything. If someone falls and gets hurt, I will be the one to pay." Where is she? Oh, she's right there. She's yelling. He's coming in with some stuff. Wow, she's grumpy, isn't she? He collected old magazines, and then the owner yelled, "Junk!" and more junk. Most people throw it out, but you collect it. So he's got crates, he's got more and more things that he's bringing into his apartment. Oh, there he's at the bargain box. The old man collected more crates, old clothes, empty bottles, and broken branches. He brought everything into the building. Each time he walked up the front steps, the owner yelled. There she is. She's right there, and she's yelling at him again. Oh, she's no kiss fish, is she? No, remember our story about the pout fish? I don't think she's a pout fish. She's an angry fish. For more than a week inside his small apartment, the old man hammered and sewed and polished. What is he doing? Can you see? Can you see him sitting there? Where is he? In the rocking chair? What is he doing? Let's see what he's doing with all that stuff. Then, one evening, just before sunset, the old man left the building. He was wearing his suit and derby hat. The owner sat by her window and watched, of course. About an hour later, he returned. He was talking and laughing. His grandchildren were with him. They were talking and laughing too. They followed the old man up the front steps and into the building, and then the owner followed them, of course. She's snoopy and she's grumpy and she's no kiss fish, is she? There's the old man and his grandkids. Of course, there she goes. She's going to watch them go up the stairs. They walked up 3 flights of stairs, past the old man's apartment, and onto the roof. Oh my. Maybe she won't be up there. In the corner, there was a small hut. Sukkah. The walls were made of wood crates. The roof was made of broken branches. Inside was a small table covered with a patchwork tablecloth. The cloth was made from old torn clothes. Candles burned in candlesticks. The candlesticks were made of old bottles. Chains of acorns and autumn leaves hung from the roof. On the walls were pictures cut from old magazines, and on the table there was wine, soda, cake, and cookies. He is so creative with his sukkah, isn't he? Man, he is super creative. Wow. See, look at that. That is really nice. That's really inventive. Okay. Wow, beautiful, the children said. This is the most beautiful sukkah ever. And then the old man smiled. There's Grandpa with his kids, and the kids are super happy. They have a really nice sukkah to spend the evening with their grandpa. All right. The old man drank wine, and the children drank soda. They all ate cake and cookies. It's nice art. I like the illustrations in here. Oh no! Here comes the grouchy lady. Grouchy alert coming. Kata, that reminds me of you. Come here, Kata. Come say hi. Come here. Oh, I got both of them. They heard me. This is my grouchy lady, huh? Yeah, you're grouchy. Come sit. Let's just sit. Sit. Okay, buddy. You want to stay, buddy? Come here. Come stay with me. Come here, buddy. Come here. Yeah, he's scared of her. He's scared of her because she's so grouchy. Here we go. We're going to find out what this grouchy lady has to say. Off, the owner yelled. Off my roof. I rent you an apartment. I don't rent you a roof. And take that junk with you. I don't think she's Hebrew. What do you think? She started swinging her broom and chasing them. Take that junk down, she yelled. Get off my roof. The old man and his grandchildren ran from the roof, but the old man did not take his sukkah down. There we go, see, they're running. Oh, some people can be so mean. So mean. Oh my, here we go. A few days later, the owner of the building brought the old man to court. It's my building and my roof, she told the judge. Well, the judge asked the old man, what do you have to say? Look at that. That grouchy lady has taken this nice old man to court and asked the judge to make a decision on his sukkah being on top of the building or not. Some people have nothing to do. They need bigger problems, don't you think? I think so. Your Honor, the old man answered. Let's see what the old man has to say. Thousands of years ago, my people were slaves in Egypt. When they escaped to the desert, they had no time to build homes. As they traveled, they built temporary huts. Each autumn, we celebrate the holiday of Sukkot by building and living in huts just like theirs. That's what I did. Now, in only 4 days, the holiday will be over. I would very much like to keep my sukkah for just that long. And here he is telling about how we are supposed to remember that we once were slaves in Egypt, but Yehovah freed us from that and took us out into the wilderness, where he made us live in tents and sukkahs and booths during our time in the wilderness. Let's see what the judge says. The judge thought and thought. Then he turned to the owner. You're right, he said to her. It's your building, and no one should be allowed to build on your roof without your permission. But then the judge said to the old man, in his ruling, I will give you just 10 days to take your sukkah down. And the judge smiled. So do you know what that means? 10 days, the old man thought, and then he smiled too. How many days did he need for the rest of the feast? Only 4 days. How many days did the judge give him to take his sukkah down? 10 days. So he has plenty of time to celebrate the feast, to finish celebrating the feast, and then take his sukkah down so that the old lady won't be annoyed anymore. At least for this Sukkot, right? So you have a wonderful year, and I'll see you back in the sukkah next Sukkot. Shalom. Chag Sameach, all done. Happy Shemini Atzeret, happy Sukkot. Yay. You want to say goodbye? Bye-bye.